There's another thing. Okay, let's take love and fear. Love and fear are two strongest emotions. In fact, Course in Miracles says are the only two emotions. When you feel fear, you're 100% fear. We know that, right? In other words, you're not just fear in your mind. Every part of you feels that fear. It's 100%. Okay, now, love. When you feel love, you're 100% love. It is not in your head. It is all of you. Okay? So, that's one thing they have in common. It's total. So what is the difference between the two? Fear and love. And we already mentioned, one is a contraction, the other one is an expansion. But if you expand the contraction, and that means listening to it and allowing it, not fighting it, resisting it, running away, or escaping it, but staying with it. Say, it's okay, it's there, it's teaching me something. And don't give it a label. When you do that, it expands automatically. And then you'll find that there was never what we call emotional love or emotional fear. There was only, like the Course says, that which is all-encompassing. You see, we go to that feeling which is all-encompassing, which can never be known by words, but can only be directly experienced. Let's talk about to feel it. Why do we choose fear most of the time? And we do. Now remember what we mean fear, okay? A doubt is a fear. When you say but is a fear. What if is a fear. Okay? Concern is a fear. So fear is always there, but we keep choosing it. Yes, I love it, but I understand, but. Okay? It's a big but. Always there. Butting in. So, what's that?
Fear gives us separateness, so we get to
from being.
Maintain our illusion of that. While if we didn't, we would dissolve.
Very good. And that's why we keep, very beautiful, we keep choosing fear because we don't want to dissolve from what we know, who we think we are. We have an idea, an image of who we think we are, and we're scared silly of losing that image. And so fear is a protection. It keeps us small, it keeps us private, but we enjoy it because I don't want to be vulnerable and open, you see, and get lost. Right? So we keep choosing fear. But if we become aware of that, can you see the expansion that will come from that? Yeah.
So the unpredictability can be fearful.
That's right. That's right.
And what would people think?
What would people think? I don't want to be vulnerable. What if people take advantage of me? That's a common one. What they think of me. How is love timeless?
True love is in the moment. It's completely in the moment.
And if true love, feel it out now. Okay, when I say feel it, you understand what I mean by feel it? It means listen to it. You know, just be one with it. If love is in the moment, then love is eternal.
Yes.
Because there can never be not a moment, right? There can never be not a moment. A moment is. See, this is what happens when we listen. Okay, we keep listening. And we'll find that, yeah, it's timeless. Now, can we live timeless all the time? Is it possible?
Should be.
I mean, that's what's happening anyway.
That is happening. We just don't think we are living in the moment. Because our mind keeps going into the past and future. You see? but we can actually live consciously from that state. I feel sure that Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi lived in totally now, totally. You know. Yeah. And that's what that's how we begin to understand, because people would talk to say to somebody who, quote, awakened, they say, well, how do you know you're eternal? How do you know there's no death? And of course you cannot prove it. But by knowing that timeless moment, you begin, in you there's a feeling, knowing that you are eternal. And that knowing can never be doubted. You just come to know it as surely as you know that you exist. How is fear based on time? For example, let's talk about one kind of fear, like anger, resentment, stress, anxiety. How are these things based on time? Pick one. How are they based on time?
Well, it's always based on something that's going to happen. So there's time in there. Even if it's a minute from now or a second from now, still there's always an image associated with it.
Right. So if I'm feeling resentment right now, and I'm feeling it now, how is that time?
Oh, it's based on something from the past.
Very good. Of something that I've thought about this person or that thing.
Because that person or thing might not even be there.
Yes.
But it's there as an image in the mind.
Very good. Yeah. So all fear is based on time, on the past. And therefore, fear cannot be real. You see? Because the past is history. The past is gone. The now is the only reality we have. I mean, just listen, feel it. Can we have anything other than this moment?
Burt, what if in this moment something is happening that's like physically painful or something? Say a dog's biting you, right there in that moment. How can that be?
The survival instinct is itself reactive. If a car is coming to going to hit you, you step out of the way. That's a survival instinct. If a dog is biting you, immediately you react to try to get away, run, or even hit the dog if need be. Okay? The point is that at the moment you're reacting, but it's not a psychological fear. It's an instinctive survival fear which is momentary. For example, when primitive men would go out and fight, the survival instinct was very strong. And if he's chased by a wild beast, he'd run like the dickens, okay? But the moment he's arrived in his cave and he escaped, he's not carrying any trauma. He's not carrying any nightmare. What he's carrying is, oh, wow, I got away! Isn't it wonderful? You see, what is frightening, what stays with us is the psychological fear. And that's what repeats all the time. And so that's why we don't understand the timelessness of the moment, because psychological fear will come. What if this happens? What if that takes place? What if I don't make it? What if I die? What if, you see? It takes us back into the future immediately. We start thinking. But the fear you're talking about is survival fear. It's not psychological. We're talking about psychological fear. Okay? So, survival fear is momentary. It's only in the moment, and it does not stay with you. Yeah. Now, for example, our cat, when we bought the cat, he was hit by a truck, and when he hears a noise, now he reacts. So you might say, well, he's thinking about it and it's time bound. No. What also we have to understand is that when you go into an accident with survival, it goes into your memory. So next time, if there is a memory of that incident, the very thought itself might make you react. But it will still be a temporary thing. Now it can become psychological. With us, with an animal, it's momentary. For example, he hears a noise, he jumps. His tail gets very, very thick, and the next moment he's purring. You see? Because it's not psychological fear, it's something that memory triggered. And with us, though, we make it a psychological. We begin to think about it, we begin to, what if this happens again? What if I run into this? You see? And it becomes a problem then.